They called her a concubine, a decoration, a possession, one of hundreds kept in the Imperial palace of Tang Dynasty, China. She would become the only woman in 4,000 years of Chinese history to rule as emperor, in her own name. Welcome back to the Gilded Betrayal. Wu Zetian entered the imperial court at 14, summoned by Emperor Taizong, one of the greatest rulers China had ever known. Taizong called her Wu Mei, charming Wu. He kept her close, not as a concubine, as a mind. When Taizong died, Wu Zetian was 26. By the law of the Tang court, every concubine of a deceased emperor was required to shave her head and spend the rest of her life as a Buddhist nun. But Wu Zetian had met the emperor's son, Crown Prince Li Ji, and Li Ji, who would become Emperor Gaozong, had fallen in love with her while his father was still alive. He summoned her back from the monastery. She arrived not as a concubine returning from exile, but as a woman who had spent 2 years in complete silence. The court did not accept her. Chancellor Chu Suliang stood before Emperor Gaozong in open court and said 4 words about Wu Zetian that she never forgot. She is not worthy. He had her flogged, in public, in front of the court she would one day command. Gaozong was too weak in that moment to stop it. Wu Zetian said nothing. She remembered everything. For the next decade, she moved in silence. Not silence of fear, silence of architecture. She cultivated relationships with court officials that Chu Suliang had dismissed. She supported the emperor in military campaigns the court had discouraged. She bore Gaozong's sons. She learned the full machinery of imperial governance, not as a student, but as someone preparing to operate it. And she waited. By 655 AD, Wu Zetian had accumulated enough that the court could no longer ignore what she represented. Gaozong moved to make for empress. Chu Suliang gathered every senior official and stood before the emperor one final time. He had Wu Zetian's record read aloud, her low birth, her previous service to the dead emperor. Wu Zetian was present in the room. She did not speak. Chu Suliang was stripped of every title, stripped of his position, stripped of his rank. Wu Zetian ruled alongside Gaozong, then for Gaozong, then without Gaozong. She ruled for 15 years. She reformed the civil service. She elevated scholars over aristocrats. She opened government to people regardless of birth. History, written by the dynasties that followed, called her manipulative, ruthless, illegitimate. They called her everything except what she actually was, the most powerful ruler of the most powerful empire on earth, in her own name. This has been the Gilded Betrayal. The most dangerous people in the room are always the ones who already know how it ends. But here is what history never resolved. Wu Zetian removed 2 of her own sons from the throne to keep her power. She eliminated rivals without hesitation. She built one of China's greatest eras, but the bones beneath it were real. So the question is, does the greatness of what she built justify the methods she used to build it? Or is power just power, regardless of who holds it? Drop your verdict below. 14 centuries later, the debate is still open.